Alright folks, so your assignment today is to make a phone case. Just a simple phone case, the best you can. This is like one of our first real things that we're going to try to make, and it's not going to be perfect, and that's totally fine. So we're going to go to onshape.com. We wouldn't use this in the classroom. We'd use a more professional software that's installed on a computer, but this is a web-based one, and it's really close to like what we use. The one we use is better, it's faster, it's smoother, and it's just better all the way around. But this is actually very close to what we're going to do in class, so it's kind of cool. So we're going to go to sign in, and then you should have all the parts you've ever built, those letters. I already built some phone cases, so here I am. I'm going to build another one real quick for those who did not see it or want to watch again. So go to create right here, and then go to document, and then we'll call it sample phone case, and say OK. And then it opens up the software here, and then we're going to go to start a sketch right off the bat. And the first thing I'm going to do, if you can see my camera down here, is, whoop, there it is. I'm going to build the back of the phone case. So if you look at a phone case like this, I'm going to build this whole back part, the whole flat back part, all this back part right here, I'm going to build that. So I'm going to start that. When you click sketch, the first thing that it wants to know is what plane. So I have to choose one of these planes, and I think I'm going to lay it like as if it's on a table, so I'll click it here. And so there you go, you're done, but you need to rotate it around. So if I choose the top plane, I'm going to choose the top plane right there, and then rotate that around. And let's draw that rectangle. So here's a rectangle, and my phone's a rectangle. And how tall my phone is, I measured my phone to be 6.2 inches. Okay? So it's going to grow a lot there. Now, my phone's 6.2 inches high. Now, in real life, I don't want to overthink this for you guys. This is like one of your first projects. So you measure your phone to be 6.2 inches, go ahead and draw that. In real life, I'd have to make it bigger, because if I want it to fit around my phone, it has to be bigger than my phone. You can't make it the exact same size as your phone. So it'd have to be slightly bigger, but we'll talk about all that kind of stuff later on. So don't sweat like if it's really going to fit your phone, because it's not. Even if I explain all this to you, it's just not. There's a lot of reasons why. Things like tolerances and all kinds of stuff we got to talk about. So how far is it here? I measured my iPhone 8 Plus, measured for me on my dial calipers 3.075 just about. Alright, and my phone is rounded on the edges, as you can see, and so is they're rounded right on the edges, and we call that filleting right here, and that's right here. This tool says sketch fillet. So I'll click it, and then I click this corner, and it's going to round them to 1/4 of an inch automatically. You can click that number and change it if you want to whatever you want to do. And then I'm going to click this one, and then oops, I already clicked off the tool. Let me go back. Oh, I'm already on it, so I can go back here again. And then I noticed double clicking actually does work. Okay, so that's enough. I double clicked on this value 6.2 on accident, so you can just click in that box and just push enter, and that'll fix that. I accidentally did that. So this is kind of what the back of the phone case is going to look like. So I can just say finish right here. Normally in our regular software, I think it's over here somewhere, and we say finish, but here it's just a check mark, a green check mark. Click check mark, and now we're not sketching anymore. If you want, you can click this little cube and say, this little cube right here, the little tiny one, and say isometric, and it goes back to the isometric view. And then I'm going to click extrude, and it wants to know what I should be extruding, and I'm going to say this whole face right here that I just drew. So I click it, and it goes up. Now, you do not want a phone case that's 1 inch thick on the back side. That's ridiculous. So how thick would you want it? I don't know. I think I measured mine to be close to 0.125, like 1/8 of an inch. That's pretty thick. So I'm going to put 0.1, but I think my phone case is real thick at 0.125. That's 1/8 of an inch. I'm just going to put 0.1 though. So in mine is 1/8 of an inch, that number right there, 0.125, but that's 25% bigger, and I'm just going to do 0.1. So there we go. I push check mark when I'm done extruding, and if you look, oops, that's how you rotate the other one by grabbing those corners on the other software, so I'm used to doing that. So there we go. We have this little thick plate. That's the back of my phone. Let's do a new sketch. We're going to draw the little walls. So if you look at the camera right here, we're going to do these little walls that where's my hand right here, that raise upward. That's for the sides of your phone right here. So this all the sides of your phone right here. I need that wall. So let's do that. We're going to draw a new sketch. So click sketch right here, And then it wants to know what plane. I'm not going to choose one of these pre-built planes. I'm going to choose the plane of the part I just drew. So I'm going to click that plane, and it creates a new one there. Then I'm going to go ahead and click the cube over here, that particular plane, so it rotates around towards me so I can draw better. I think you could draw the other way, but it's just kind of hard to do. And then it's nice when it's facing directly at you. So I click rectangle, and I'm pretty much drawing the exact same thing. You can draw it overly sized like that if you want. And then just dimension right here using this dimension tool right here. That's it right there. Click that, and just go ahead and dimension this thing out the way it was. This was, what, 6.2 inches? And my bottom line right here was 3.075. Perfect. Then I'm going to do that filleting tool right here. Boom. Boom. And notice you can click them all once. And if you double click the last one, I think it seals them all in. So if you have a bunch of filleting to do, you can just click once, and then on the last one, double click, and it kind of seals the deal there, and it does them all. Now, that's not enough, because I need to close this shape. So if I extrude it again right now, it would just extrude the whole face again. I don't want to do that. I want a little thin wall here. For that, we're going to use this offset tool right here, where it says offset. We're going to click that. And what am I going to offset? I'm going to offset this face. And I'm not going to do, right now it's offsetting it outward. Notice it drew a line all the way around. That's what offset does, is it comes up with a new line a certain distance away. Right now it's 1/4 inch away, right? So I don't want it to go that way. I want it to go kind of negative. So I'm going to double click this and say negative, and my walls are pretty thin. I'm going to go 0.05. So that's not 0.1, that's half of that. And I'm going negative because I want it to go inward. And there we go. So notice that little wall now. I have this little wall right here where I can extrude this thin little thing all the way around. So let's push this check mark here and say I'm done. And then let's go to isometric view because it looks prettier. There we go. And I'll zoom in just a little bit. And then I'm going to say extrude right here. That's a 3D feature, extrude. And then I'm going to zoom in here and I'm going to click that wall. There we go. That's obviously way too thick for my phone. My phone's not that high. So I measured how thick my phone was. You know how thick it is? Like how high does the wall need to be? And I actually don't even remember anymore. No, I know what it was. It was like 0.3-ish, I believe. So 0.3. So we do not need 1 inch high walls. 0.3 inches was perfect. And I'm gonna click check mark. There we go. And next thing is I need a lip to grab onto the phone. So if I just lay my phone in there, it'll easily fall out, right? If I drew it right anyway. But they usually have this little lip that kind of grabs onto the front of your phone just a little tiny bit. Not much, right? Because you don't want it to cover the screen, but just a little bit. So let's do that. So I'm going to start a new sketch, and I'm going to choose this little front face where I'm going to draw a new wider line. So this one right here. So click that. There, drew a new plane. Let's click on that top view right here on this cube. I'm going to click top so it rotates around towards me. You just want it facing towards you. And then let's draw the exact same shape again. Let's click the square or rectangular feature. Let's click that corner. Make it too big if you want to, because we're going to have to dimension it out anyway. So this bottom side was, what was it again? I don't even remember. It was like a 3.075. Enter. And then this side right here was 6.2 inches. There we go. Perfect. Now let's use that fillet tool, and we should have 1/4 inch fillets. There we go. 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch. I can see that it says 1/4 inch right there. And then I'm going to go over here and click that one. And I'm going to go over here and double click that last one to seal all of them up. Done. Now I need the offset tool again. So let's go to offset. And we can choose this place again. But I want it to go inward again, but more than last time. So I'm going to go negative. And last time I did 0.05. So I can go 0.1. Last time I did 0.05. But if I go to 0.1 like that, I think this is too much. So look at it. I just feel like there's no way. It might be covering up some of my screen. So I'm going to double click this value. Oops. I think I just offset again. Let me undo that right here with the undo buttons right here. I think. Oh, did I? Oh, okay. I think I had offset still selected. Push escape if you ever have one of these tools. Watch this. I'm going to click offset. You see how it's blue? That means it's ready to offset something. Push escape on your keyboard, and there, that'll go away. So then now I can see I can highlight that and double click that. Ignore my son. He's just having a good time with the dog. 0.7. Boom. There we go. Just a little bit of fact, I don't even know if I want to do that. I'm going to do 0.6. Yeah, maybe that. Alright, I think that's good. And let's finish that. And then here's something I want you to notice. I'm going to go back to this, by the way, and I'm going to do an isometric view and zoom in. Wait, what? Why do I have an extra? I don't remember doing this. I must have messed up here. You know what? It's okay. You see this big thing? I accidentally must have offset something when I was clicking, and I did not delete that. We could do that, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'll show you why, because I want this area right here, right? But I also want to extrude up this area, but I'm not going to do that one. So no big deal that that's there. I just won't use it. So watch this. I'm going to go to extrude. And then I'm going to say, don't extrude that. No, I want that little thin area. And this one right here, right next to it. I'm trying to see it now. Trying to see if I got that. I don't know if I did. Let's see from the top view. Oh, it looks like I did. I clicked this one and I clicked that one, right? I have both. There we go. They're both highlighted now. So they're both extruding. Let's just double check that. I just clicked it again. I want to check that isometric view. Yeah, there we go. But I obviously not that high. Just a tiny bit, like 0.05. When I say a tiny bit in 3D printing world, that's about 0.05. As far as like, if you want a wall that's like will hold, but you know, isn't like ridiculously bulky or anything like that. So this works. Yeah. So let's see that. So look at that little lip right there. I create a little tiny lip. If you can rotate to see it, you can kind of see it right here. So we have this area down here, and there's this lip that kind of comes out and grabs onto the outer edge of your phone so it doesn't fall off. Right? I'm kind of zoomed in too much there. But I don't know if you can see it. Sometimes it's a little hard to see. The other software is a little bit better with shading and stuff, so it's easier to see that kind of stuff. This software is not as good, but it's still really decent for being web-based. Now, you can do stuff like this. Watch this, sketch, and then I'm going to choose this original plane, the very bottom right here, and then rotate to it. And you can put a camera slot. So like if I choose this rectangle and I can put a camera. Now in real world, we would want to make sure that this thing was perfectly sized. I think I did this in class. I measured how wide my camera was, and I think it was like 0.9 if I remember right. And I think I measured this right here to be about, I think 4.5 on my camera. No, it was not 4.5. It was 0.45. Yeah, that's way too big. There we go. So like that. Now notice I'm in the dimensioning tool. This guy right here. So push escape so I'm not. And then I can totally just grab this square anywhere and it'll move around. I can't stretch it out because it's stuck to this size by this size. But I can totally move it around, okay? But it should be placed exactly where the camera is. So in real life, we would definitely want to measure how far the camera is from the top of the phone and then put that value here. Let's say it's 0.15.
Can I play with my brown eye test?
You sure can.
Okay, I will go.
Wait, can you wait here for me?
No.
At least he was nice about it. All right. Then here we go. And then how far away is the camera from the little camera lens from the side? And then we're going to put, like, let's say it's 0.15 from there as well. Next thing is, obviously you don't want a big ugly square there, so we would definitely want to fillet it. But watch this. Look at that fillet. I don't want a 1/4 inch fillet. Actually, you know what would be perfect is half of that. Then I'll have a pill form. So it'll look like a total oval pill. So I'm going to do half of 45. So watch this. Double click that. And I'm going to say 0.45 divided by 2. It'll do the math for me in there. So I put 0.45/2 to divide it. Enter. There we go. And in fact, now I could just double click all of them. And then I'll have my little pill shape right there. And then we're going to click this green button when we're done drawing, right? This green button, it'll get us out of that sketch. And if you want, let's switch it back to the isometric view. It's much prettier. And now I want to remove that hole. So I'm going to go to extrude, and I click here, and that's not what I want. I don't want to build up. I want to do, and look at these little features. Add, it's adding new material, right? No, I want to remove material. So click remove, and look at that. It went way down an inch. But that's okay. If you don't want to go down an inch, you can change that to the exact thickness of the thing, but it doesn't matter. There's nothing down there. It's not hurting anything. So I can just push finish, and I got my little camera hole there. If you want to do one on the side, you can say sketch and click one here and do something similar. Click the right side over here on this cube and then zoom into the side here, and we can totally draw Oh, not that. A rectangle. And then, but of course, when you do this, you're definitely going to want to, and I haven't measured this, but how far from the side of the phone is this, you know, and maybe it's 0.15. And then how far from the top of my phone is it? And let's say it's a 0.15. I don't know. I'm just making these numbers up. And then we'd have to say how big is my button, right? I can click that wall and it'll tell me how big is my button. My button is 0.15, let's say. And then of course, how wide is the button this way? And let's say it's 0.75. No, let's go with 65. 6. There we go. There we go. There's my button. And of course, it's always a good idea to fillet. And in fact, this fillet is way too big. Let's just go with 0.1. Let's see what that looks like. That's still too much. Well, that's 0.1 is way too much still. So I'm going to go half that, 0.05. There we go. That looks a little bit more nicer. And then I'm going to just double click all those fillets. Whoops. Let me enter that. Fillet. Let me click my fillet tool. I accidentally got out of it right now. I do not want to do 0.1, 0.05. And then let's see if it. There we go. And then click it and then double click. There we go. And then we're going to go to finish, the green button right here, the green check mark. And then let's go to extrude right here. And then I'm going to click this, and I do not want it bigger. If you look here, what it's doing right now, it's growing bigger, like a little, like something's coming out. No, I want to remove that stuff. So push remove, and then push check mark, and there we go. We got a little button slot right there. So this is pretty much all you're going to do. Is you're adding or removing stuff. You draw a drawing, then extrude to add, or draw a drawing and extrude to remove. And that's it. Like, just practice using that to build your phone case, and you build whatever you want. You can draw whatever cool shapes here and extrude stuff like that. Okay, so I hope that helps.